He waited for the grown-ups to leave the room before he would gnaw on me. It wasn't until after he grew out of the biting phase that we became very close buddies. So, have you guys heard of the term free-range parenting? I know these two have. That's exactly how Luke and I grew up. Right, Luke? We didn't have any boundaries keeping us anywhere. We lived on 10-acre lots, but we grew up all over Pine Creek. We didn't know people's property wasn't our property. I mean, we pretty much went where we went.
We didn't care.
Yeah, we were encouraged to explore, to learn, to build, to experiment. Unfortunately, we were rarely told no, which I think maybe has a lot to do with Luke's attitude today. We would say back then what I say to my wife pretty much every day.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. And we did. As you can imagine, over the next 33 years we've been hanging out. We've done a lot of pretty stupid stuff. Some pretty stupid, awesome stuff. I like to think that 60% of the time we were smart about the stuff we did. 30% of the time we were probably lucky. And about 10% of the time we got caught. Right?
That's 10.
That's
I got
probably even
caught.
high.
You never got caught.
Hold on, I'm about to throw away page 3. At around the age of 10, like many other dumb kids, we would have BB gun fights. But we stepped up our game, and one of us used a bow and arrow. I don't think Mom and Dad know about that one. Oh, we did? That was one of those 30% lucky times. At about the age of 12, we started a 4-acre grass fire. Playing with fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Mom?
Oh, yeah.
It was the 5th of July. The two positives came out of that. It was the neighbor's property, and we made the newspaper.
You got a clipping.
We did. We were in there.
And you stopped.
That was one of those 10% hot times. Yeah, don't get me wrong, we were smart about some things. Like when we would ride my quad into town at 2 a.m. and park it under the bridge on Wilder. For donuts. We'd ride our bikes the rest of the way because cops aren't looking for bikes like they're looking for quads. That was one of the 60% smart times. But the next time I made that trip, Luke didn't go. Remember that, Luke?
Oh, you got busted.
And I ended up in jail. Remember that, Dad? True story. Speaking of which, after high school, Luke and I almost had to move to Canada. That would have been fun, huh? That was one of the 10% cuts. So, as you heard, I spent my entire life helping to develop Luke into the man he is today. Corey, you were welcome.
Corn dog!
But it was right around our 20-year anniversary together that the student started becoming the teacher. About that time, I moved into a rundown rental of Luke and Casey. I was still a kid with no ambition, no direction. As Luke lay asleep in his bed on a weeknight because he was beginning his career in his late teens, I was shotgunning an 18-pack of beer with Casey in the living room. True story. Don't get me wrong, Casey and I were having a great time, but Luke was getting this adulthood thing figured out a lot faster than we were. What was that, Luke?
Talk about the dish towel for Casey.
Okay, just because the groom said wanted to bring it up.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll talk about that later. We spent the next several years of our lives doing to him what he was doing to me the whole time we were growing up, which was learning, studying, mimicking. You know, Luke had it figured out, and I was now watching Luke to figure out how I could be more like him. Also, in the early stages of hanging out with my wife, Sarah, I was a little concerned about dating her because of her questionable past. But Luke said she's hot, go for it. So I did. And as you can see, it was a good idea. I can honestly say that Luke is the reason that I have a job, a wife, a house, and kids.
Amen to that.
Now, you tell me which one of us is the best man. Corey?
Corn dog. Corn dog.
You are absolutely crazy. And I think that's why you're here today. When it comes down to it, I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. I've never been able to fake liking someone. With Corey, of course I never had to. She sold me the night she gave me the keys to her Facebook page and let me chat it up with her friends and family, pretending to be her and having some very questionable conversations. Oh, she didn't bat an eye because she's crazy. Corey, you look amazing tonight.
Corn dog.
Not only is Corey beautiful,
Corn dog.
when she combs her hair, but she's incredibly smart and is contagiously happy. Her only flaws, she's absolutely horrible at wake surfing. We can work on that. Some of my favorite things about Corey,
Corn dog.
good job, guys, is she is herself no matter what. She's bubbly, excited, she talks a mile a minute, and she doesn't even pretend to be sane. Corey, you are everything that Luke needs in his life.
No smiling.
You stay up with him all night, partying and cleaning up after Casey. And you pretend to be an old married couple while watching movies on the couch alone on a Saturday night. I know you've been dreaming of this day since you were born, 17 years ago. And I'm part of it. So if you have anything left in your cup, let's raise our glasses. Toast the bride and groom. Beautiful night. Love you guys. Cheers. Peace out.
Sorry, I won't bet you.
Tough sell, Sarah. Tough sell, babe.
I know, right? Why did you go first?
All of that.
Good job, bud.
Okay, this really isn't fair. I asked him to write mine. He said no. He's talking about being honest. And okay. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Sarah, and I'm lucky enough to claim about a quarter of this wedding party. That one, that one, that one. Yeah. I've known Corey for 6 years, Luke much longer, and nothing makes me happier than being this wedding. I apologize if I start talking really fast or sweating profusely. It's some combination of the both. I am a classic introvert, and so public speaking is not my strong point. I'm just up here to try to get through it and not paint. That is how much I love you guys. You know how so many great love stories begin the same way, with two people spending that magical first night together, consumed by deep, passionate conversation. When they spend the entire night talking about absolutely everything, and in the morning they just know that their life has changed forever. Well, that is exactly how this love story started. Not that one. There are people, or there are kids present, guys.
Go for number 4.
I'm talking about the important one, the one between me and Corey. So Luke and Corey had been dating for a few months, and Luke was out hunting, so us girls decided, why not have a girls' night at his house?
How tight it is.
I was, at the time, about 5 months pregnant with the twins, so my energy level was at an all-time low, my sleep requirement at an all-time high. When it was time to call it a night, Corey graciously offered to share her bed with me. We got in bed and just naturally started talking. We talked about first loves, pet peeves, life ambitions, who had been married before. Before we knew it, the sun was coming up, and we had talked the entire night long. And I knew in those early morning hours that Corey was destined to be in my life. Luckily, Luke felt the same way, probably for different reasons, but it all worked out. It was important to me that Luke find the right girl, not only for his happiness, but for mine as well. As you can tell, John and Luke are kind of a package deal, so whoever he ended up with, I was stuck with for life. So, as you heard, John and Luke have been best friends since they were in diapers. There are a few stories that John tells that Luke is not in. Every time John tells me a story from his childhood, I do three things. I shake my head, I laugh really hard, and I wonder how the hell these two are still alive. But as ridiculous and dangerous and sometimes illegal as all their adventures have been, and probably will continue to be, I'm so glad that they have always had each other. When John and I found out we were having a baby boy, it was an easy decision to name him after Luke. I really wanted a family name, and that's exactly what Luke is to us. When the kids were newborns, Luke used to come over with the sole purpose of napping with the baby. He would walk in our front door, grab the nearest or possibly least smelly baby, lay in our recliner, and for the next 30 to 60 minutes, they would both be out like logs. You could practically hear Corey ovulate. Well, Luke never knew it, but those naps were priceless to me. Not only because it meant for a half an hour I had at least one arm free, but also because it made me realize how amazing the bond was that he was forming with our kids. He's not just any uncle. He's going to be the one that little Luke turns to when he has questions about sex that he's too embarrassed to talk to us. God help us all. And he's going to be sitting at our kitchen table with John, cleaning their guns when a boy comes to the door to take Reese on her first date. I cannot imagine our life without Luke, and I'm so glad he somehow managed to make Corey fall in love with him in only 4 short days.
Woo-hoo!
Or not. Luke and Corey really are soulmates. To me, a soulmate is someone who loves you in a way that allows you to be the truest version of yourself without hesitation or embarrassment or anything like that. It just comes naturally. And that's, for any of us who know Luke and Corey well, they know that that's exactly what's happened. Now, I was told by someone, that someone being Google, that it's customary for the matron of honor to offer advice in her toast. And it came from the internet, so it has to be true. So I will leave you with this advice. Never stop laughing together. Never stop playing together. Never stop challenging each other. Always try to see things through each other's eyes. And never forget the way you feel about each other right here tonight. So, I love you both. To Luke and Corey.
Corey.
Anybody else got anything to say?